Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
Did somebody turn off the lights?
Yeah, maybe. You like that new intro?
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? The scene in American Pie.
Which one? How the fuck did that have to do with American Pie?
When Jim starts playing the music and he has the video out to everybody in the school system.
So how the fuck does that have? This is it. This is the episode where he becomes senile. This is it. This is right here. This is our real glass moment.
You seen a coup de grace?
See, I figured you would have, been happy to see this beautiful mask that I got.
El Grande?
Americano.
Okay.
The real El Grande Americano mask. Not your fake Chad Gable you're trying to push for all these months.
Oh, my God. He is still the original El Grande Americano.
No, he may be, but he's not El Grande Americano.
You're right. A guy who's not even American is.
What did he say? You don't have to be from Mexico to be Mexican. Shut up.
No, he's not even from Mexico.
Sloppy, I appreciate that, seeing as I'm wearing the mask of a great Mexican patriot.
He's not even from Mexico. Saying he's from Mexico is like saying I'm from...
Couldn't hear him.
What?
He is from Mexico.
Oh, my God.
El Grande Americano is absolutely from Mexico. You just lost your fucking mind.
Yeah. And I'm from Egypt.
So welcome to the Marks Podcast. I hope y'all like that new intro and new look. We got some stuff to talk about. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the Emanual stuff now? Get it out of the fucking way, because I don't want to fuck. I'm not. And we're gonna talk about it. It's already out there, the audio. Because the last thing I want to do is give credit to that guy. But I'll let you set it up if you want.
By the way, Mexico's playing England, right?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't watch fucking World Cup.
I think Mexico's playing England tonight.
Well, England's going home.
Nah, well. Hey, Brazil just got eliminated, so.
That's impressive. So, what do you know about the Emanual Vince McMahon leaked audio?
I read about it and stuff like that, and all I say when I hear about something like that, I just say how can I say, the second-rate journalists who want to go after audio like that, I want them to go after every acquisition inquiry that they can, because I think shit like that happens in every acquisition.
Well, okay, but see, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I agree with you that the person that did it is kind of a shithead, but not because of that. It's because of the one-sidedness. I want all sides. And again, how many episodes have we gone where I've had to say 70?
No, hey, Dan, you're right. You know, it's sad that these second and third cut rate journalists will always only do the one side that points the finger at Vince. But they never come out and say, well, he said this, but on the other hand, this is the response, and this is the reason why he said this, because this person said this. No, it's always one way, and I'll tell you this right now. In the modern day of age, this one-sided shit might have worked in the 1980s and stuff like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the audio or the transcripts of the audio were put out weeks ago. So the voice memos from Emanual to Vince McMahon were in September of 2022. The first note says, quote, everyone at the DOJ is former Latham lawyers. So on that side, this will be helpful. SEC, of course, is SEC. But that's just the penalty. As it relates to everything else, yes, we can indemnify you, and we will. If it's criminal, of course, you can't stop criminal, but this is not criminal. So Cornell Law School said that basically indemnification means, quote, compensating a person for damages or losses they have incurred or will incur related to a specified accident, incident, or event. So basically, if something happened, Vince was out a bunch of money, I guess. Ari Emanuel, I guess, offered to help him with that, make him whole. 3 days later, he left a message that said he wanted to talk to Vince to quote, talk through the issues, because I think whether it be the DOJ or anything, there's ways around this to figure this out. Vince then left a message for Jeff Stein, a banking advisor, and said, quote, the best thing to do is to go forward with the deal with Ari. It solves a lot of problems.
And like I was saying, what's the second half of this? There's got to be another half of this conversation because.
So no, the other half is Vince called and they said he wanted to talk to Stephanie. He got off the phone with Ari. He got off the phone with Stephanie and Nick, meaning Nick Khan, about everything they were talking about. And I get it. It is whatever. But what's going on, John? It's a vape and it's tiger's blood. The thing about it is, you know what? Let me break some fourth wall here. So many moons ago, you and I talked about your mentor, your friend, a guy that is responsible for basically you and I meeting, even though he's passed on. And the family of that gentleman came back in contact with you. Okay. It's not weed, John. So he wanted you to give them their information. Not because he was trying to find fucking justice, in my opinion. Okay, so this is my opinion, right? But so he could find more dirt, so he could find this, so he could create a profile piece and put these people who have not ever been in the public spotlight, who wanted to stay away, who were talking to you because they knew how close you were with their family member. And the scummy way he did it, instead of like respecting your wishes and their wishes, he went behind your back and tried to contact them. And I'm supposed to believe that this guy is doing everything on the up and up. No, he's he's much like any other dirt sheet writer who, but in my opinion, he goes around and tries to make it look different, like he's this credible good guy on the side of justice.
Would you compare him to the ambulance chasing attorney?
100%. But here's the hard part about it. His partner, who is just a commentator, basically, is very likable, very respectable, seems like a decent guy. And that's the problem I have. So when it goes with on this particular issue, of course they have the stuff with Vince. Of course they have the conversations with Ari. And they're getting this stuff leaked out from a side. Let's be honest. Everybody that's gone against Vince up to this point, the reason why their shit's been shut down is because there's been some fucking chicanery. And I'll break it down for you. The biggest one as of late, the Janelle Grant shit. You could tell that was a fucking money grab from the jump. Am I grateful that because of her, Ashley Mazzaro's story got finally outed and the truth was told? 100%. They both can be pieces of shit, and two things can be true at the same time. So to have Janelle Grant be responsible for Ashley, I'm grateful for that, but she was just there chasing money. Okay, the second thing with the deal. Do I think Vince did some chicanery? Yeah, I've been calling it from the jump, but I also think Vince got fucked by Ari. That's just what I think. But again, the fuck is that? Oh, what's up, Jacob? I think that the two things can be right. Two things can be true at the same time. And so because of that, we have another situation here where get both fucking sides, but you don't because you can't go to Vince's attorneys, who, in my opinion, and any conversations you and I have had, or any conversations anybody else has had with me in regards to Vince's law team, they're professionals. They handle it like fucking adults. They're not leaking shit. Hold on. Their clients aren't from the panhandle of Texas being a fucking douchebag and leaking everybody's shit and trying to make a buck off YouTube, allegedly. So
and you know, and to be fair too, is the amount of money he's paying them.
What up?
I have no doubt in my mind that if something was to get leaked out, Vince would start. Like, hey, think about it. If you were a lawyer and you find out how much they were making, you would be begging for him to fire those attorneys and pick you up as an attorney.
The worst thing that ever happened to these people.
Morgan for the people. It ain't Morgan and Morgan. Let's just put it out there.
The worst thing that ever happened to these people, the worst thing, is that Vince is no longer in power in WWE, because you have stated, hell, we can go back all the way to the fucking first time you and I met and we had an interview when I knew you as Richard Cranium. Fucking dickhead. Look at him fucking showing off his Golden Girl shirt like he's fucking sexy over here. Look at it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, that one.
My favorite child.
The worst thing that ever happened was Vince got out of power, because what time of year was the best time to try to fuck with Vince? WrestleMania, right? That was it, right, Gerard? Ding, 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 ding. And now he's not responsible for anything, so he can make all his attention, all his focus on these cases. He's already been through all the other ones. What's to say he's not going to win this one, even if he did something wrong?
And if you notice, since he stepped down magically, did all the lawsuits go away? So you're telling me WWE never commits any other thing anymore? Is that what you're telling me now?
What we have is a fucking problem. We have a problem with fucking like you know, and I think this is more to Jacob Speed. You remember what was his name? EDP 445. Remember that name? Do you know that name?
Oh yeah.
He was a kid diddler or something like that, trying to touch kids, and he could have been, if the job was done properly, he could have gotten some real shit. But we know for a fact, I know some folks are actually good at this shit, but we know for a fact the guys that did his shit dropped the fucking ball. So we have a bunch of fucking journalists out there, because look, Gerard, Jacob, and myself, we're commentators at best. We're a bunch of guys who like wrestling and talk shit. Never once have we claimed to be fucking journalists. But we have fucking integrity and have credibility that we tell you that from the jump. We're having a conversation. We have a conversation with our fucking audience, and we have a good time doing it. But at the end of the day, we're not playing with people's fucking lives and trying to paint a narrative that these people are doing this and that and have done this just to come out later and not say anything. I've never seen a retraction. I haven't seen shit. Now, I love What Culture Wrestling. I think Simon Miller is amazing. He cracks me up. I think fucking the guys that I watch their show watch their little videos every morning before I get ready for the day. I love those guys. Exactly. But I've never seen them come out and when they were wrong, make a fucking retraction. In fact, I've seen them come out and promote Lee Cole. How'd that work out for you? I've had them come out and say that they had first reported from Wrestling with the Devil. And how did that work out for you? It didn't, because he's full of shit.
Well,
I miss What Culture Wrestling though.
What Culture Wrestling's still there?
No, I know, but the pro wrestling company they have.
Oh no, hey guys, remember, Lee got his 15 seconds of fame, let's be honest, when he came out and announced to the world that Vince McMahon was in bad health.
Fucking yeah.
Fucking Polly Walnuts out there.
How did that work out for him?
The only thing that was bad health about Vince was his fucking pencil stash that he had going on there.
That
fucking
that goes up there with Do-Rag Vince is probably not the best fucking choice.
What'd you say, Cruella de Vil hairdo?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
Polly Walnuts. Reverse Polly Walnuts, because Polly Walnuts had the shit on the outside.
It just goes back to, when you talk about the other sports and stuff like that, the journalism and stuff, they actually walk on a fine line because they don't want to lose that credential. But when it comes to professional wrestling, None of these journalists care if they lose their credentials because it's not regulated.
No.
Which maybe
but then again, we can go back to that shit. How are you going to get regulated if you don't even have a fucking union? All right, so let's.
No. What I'm saying is,
we had to get a union together for the boys. You know, we all.
I'm saying is, you can still regulate.
We have to get a union together for the boys.
The boys.
Wait.
Hogan betrayed me till he went right.
Hogan
to
betrayed me. He took me down.
You can still have journalistic regulation for professional wrestling.
You're talking about regulations. You can't have those, Gerard, because Hulk
Hogan. Have regulations. I live in a place where there is no regulations. I live in the Baja.
I made it. I was the governor of Minnesota. I was able to do the
governor. You know, I don't even live in the continental United States.
What?
No problem, Grey Jedi.
What happened?
That's on Twitch. I gave to somebody a sub for Rifle Gaming.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he doesn't even live in the continental United States?
I live in my own world.
Because he lives in the Baja.
I live in the Baja. It's where we go and we lift weights. But your buddy Toke Hogan lives there. He hangs out.
Yeah,
with
Toke Hogan. You know, if Hulk Hogan before he died.
I think you guys have been on the cocaine too much.
We didn't do cocaine, Gerard. We went out and we worked out like men.
I think y'all been hanging around Adrian and Adonis too much.
So, Sheamus is no longer in the WWE. He's going.
Oh, so he's actually out now. I know he's like.
Well, not officially, but his contract is expiring. He's going to go to. He's going to be joining.
Do we know that for a fact?
Yeah, he's joining Celtic Thunder. It's actually a 8-piece band from Ireland. Sheamus is giving up wrestling. He's joining the.
Shut the fuck up, Jacob.
Yeah. he's gonna start doing river dance.
Next, you're gonna be telling me we're gonna see him doing Cotton Eye Joe.
So me and Gerard. Hold on, I need your help with this, Jacob. I'm hoping you'll be on my side with this. But actually, first off, Jacob, what did you think of the tag team of the Bar?
I thought in the beginning, because again, it was a pretty random pairing because they had nothing going on with Sheamus and Cesaro, but they had a really good best of 7 series. I think that's kind of what led to it.
Yeah.
And then they had a really corny vignette. That's actually kind of one of my favorite vignettes of all time, where they're in the bar, and that's actually how they got the bar name, where they just beat up everyone. And, as corny as it was a pretty good tag team. And it was honestly the best thing Cesaro did before, he got murdered by Roman Reigns and then left to AEW. And, now he's, washing John Moxley's balls or whatever he's doing.
Okay, so hear me out. So you like the tag team. So me and Gerard were talking about Sheamus going over to AEW. Now it would be a positive, and I brought up FTR. I brought up the Bucks. I brought up Cope and Christian. I brought up some of the other tag teams that they could work with. And Gerard, I said FTR. And I brought them up, and Gerard was like, they're not going to do anything with them. They're just going to put them in there. They're going to be a bunch of jamokes, you momo.
When did Gerard turn into Angry Vince? I don't know. But anyways, I think, again, AEW doesn't really – the only thing they have going for them right now in the tag team division is, Cage and Cope. That's how it's, it's the reverse way.
Well, that's what I'll argue, though. I'll argue that because I did see that, John, that Damian Priest is now in AAA. Which I think is a good fit for him.
You can definitely tell he doesn't speak Spanish on the regular, like with that promo he cut. He was very...
But what I'll say is that as far as the AEW stuff, they have some good tag teams. They have the Dogs. Look, may not like the dog. I like the dogs. I like the Dogs. You have FTR. You have the Bucks. You have Cope and Christian. They have a decent tag team division to put out there.
Yeah, it's the one thing. Among other things right now that
and the new has on
WWE. But it's just, I think if Sheamus were to go to AEW and link back up with Claudio, it would be pretty good because, again, other than fucking Brian Cage, I guess they had Brian Cage and Jake Doyle. I guess they're a tag team now, so they don't
Well,
really
yeah,
have
that
like
and you also have
they
the
don't really
Bang
have
Bang
like
Gang.
a big Haas like tag team like that. So it'd be kind of
True.
cool. It'd be cool for both of them, So I'm for it. I mean, it'd be again. I think it would be a good way to bring Sheamus in. I just don't know how they would bring him in otherwise. Because look what they're doing with Ciampa. Right now he's feuding with Jericho. And the commentators can't pronounce his fucking name right every time.
Yeah, but okay. Again, Jacob, what was Ciampa doing in fucking WWE?
Him and Gargano were cosplaying as DX. I mean, I think that's better than what he's doing right now. But only
Do
because,
you really think that them playing as fucking basically Ciampa playing nursemaid to fucking Gargano, who's in a vegetated state, winning matches is a good thing?
He's in a vegetative state. You can't say coma. Remember that whole storyline with Kane and Undertaker? They couldn't say coma the whole time. Yeah. Vegetative state.
Here's a question for you.
Speaking of Kane, at some point we're going to be reading next.
John, hold on, John. See, that's what Gerard's arguing. Yes, they're making much more money in AEW, but that's a bad thing. They suck over there at AEW, even though they're making more money.
Well, everyone's making more money.
Hey, here's a question for you.
QT Marshall's making a lot of money.
We saw this play out 30 years ago. And as much as you both might hate Jey Uso, what are we doing? Oh, I know. We're running it back. And now you guys are all on board.
How long did you wait to do that? How long have you waited to do that? How long have you wanted to do the run? I know that you're a Jey Uso fan secretly. It's like he's been waiting for that for weeks.
My only question to you is, so why is it okay now, but back then it wasn't okay?
I didn't have a problem with it. If it wasn't for people like Hall and Nash and all that going over to WCW, we would have never had the fucking Attitude Era.
What I'm saying is the fact of, back then, jumping ship and stuff like that was a no-no. Now when you jump ship, but you're doing it just because, hey, I can go get a 3-year deal and work 30 days in 3 years because the owner of that company is so freaking dumb. He'll just pay me to sit at home.
And I bet you would take every dime.
At least they're doing something with Ciampa. At least like he's on TV. Like that's one of the things that like I'm glad that they're doing, that they signed him. But like his fucking theme song's terrible. It sounds like a Dodge
I'm not a fan.
commercial song.
I'm not a fan of the theme song.
It's like I'm reading something today, and I don't know if you guys. It's like, why did this have to come out today? With 35 years ago, there was a rumor thing that if Mike Tyson had won his fight against James Buster Douglas, he was going to be the referee for Hulk Hogan. It was going to be a fight for him versus Hogan. It was going to be Mike Tyson versus Hogan 35 years ago. And you know what I say about that? Who gives a crap where scenarios could have happened 35
Hold on, but you're
ago?
fucking worried about shit that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago, fucking WCW.
And I'm saying to you is, do we really need to see another WCW?
It's not even close to the same thing.
Why not?
Because you actually have someone who's in charge, who's not walking around with his thumb up his ass. No offense to fucking Bischoff.
What? No, there's 83 weeks. Remember? 83 weeks.
In the bottle for 83 weeks, okay? What's the difference? I'll tell you the difference is. The other guy can't catch lightning in the bottle because most of the people in WWE are leaving and they're coming out saying why they're leaving.
Yeah, but see, EW as of now has been around
and
more.
This is where kayfabe worked.
What? Oh shit. The difference is, as he said it himself, Tony Khan's got more money than Jimmy Crockett.
Who said that? Forrest Gump?
Tony Khan said that.
Oh, okay. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, didn't he say that when he was like melting down? When he's like, I'm not gonna take this shit.
Money. Just because listen, any one of us give us the money. Yeah, we can run a company into a ground. Doesn't mean you can run it right. Oh, but let me get all these.
But okay. You don't watch the product. We've established that.
So what I have watched, and what I'm saying is, the guys who can't make it anymore in WWE gladly take the cheap pay to go over to AEW. They're not adding.
And I can't think of off the top of my head.
Hey, they're not adding to the product. They're just adding to the payroll.
Okay, so who right now is doing that? And if you say Edge, fine, you can say that, but they're putting on good matches. Edge and Christian. I'm sorry, Jacob. I know that he's your father. I know that Christian Cage, and I understand you have a father. Would you not say that Christian Cage, because this jamoke over here is basically saying that fucking Christian is just doing the same cookie cutter shit. I would argue that Christian is doing the best fucking work of his career right now.
He's probably doing the best work of his career. I love the turtleneck. I wish, like, you know, they should sell the turtleneck on
They should just sell Dickies, those little Dickie turtlenecks, because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they should just sell it, like, and just, you know, because people would buy that shit, no doubt. But
again,
I've always enjoyed Christian's work. I remember being so pissed when he lost the title to Randy Orton in fucking 2 days after winning it. And then he was.
What I'm liking in AEW is they're giving Christian the opportunity, and I would say Christian is, from a true fan perspective, more over than Adam Copeland, because he's our asshole. That he's literally he hasn't changed shit about his heel character, and he's over. Yeah. I'm telling you, Gerard. He told fucking Jack Perry, the only thing about your father, he goes, you should be glad that your father's dead, because he'd be ashamed of what you become. When he was talking back when fucking Brian Pillman's son was still there, he goes, I'd like to talk to your father, and looks at the ground and starts talking to the dirt to talk about fucking Brian Pillman's son. He formed a group called the Patriarch.
So the things that people used to despise of people doing in other companies, now it's automatic okay, because you used to not talk about the dead, but now it's okay to talk about the dead. In a satire.
You know, Eddie's, here's the thing. Eddie's not in heaven. Eddie's down there in hell. Dude,
Randy Orton said that. And how did everybody go? Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Or even when Batista, like, just straight up said to Ray, like, you know, Ray was just out of nowhere, just, you know, look at Eddie, man. Look at Eddie. And then, like,
I'll give a damn about it.
It's like, I'm waiting for them to put the Dominic Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero picture back up with Rey Mysterio.
The best when the last time Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio had a fucking segment together, like, Ray
talk about my dad.
Eddie. Yeah, Dom he just doesn't say anything. He says, "You keep my father's name out of your mouth."
I really wish I could go back in time. I wish they would have put him up there instead of the fucking clipboard. Just hang a kid from the fucking Raptors on his belt with a chain. The winner's the one that can get the kid off the chain.
Dominic, I am your papi. Is it true, Dad? Is it really true?
But okay, so see, Gerard, we can't have fun. We can't enjoy a character like Christian Cage.
They need, custody of fucking what's his name, Nick Wayne.
We're gonna fight over the custody over Jacob in the next couple episodes of the show.
Oh, it'd be great.
Not even. Hey, you got him. He's yours. When we're in that.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. It's okay.
A pink Golden Girl shirt. He's yours.
Yeah, no, I've had this for so long. I probably had it for like 3 years.
So what I'm saying is, like, Gerard doesn't watch the product, all right? So he has no idea that Christian Cage is doing the best work of his career. He has no idea that FTR is in my opinion, the closest thing we're ever going to get to a reformation of the fucking Midnight Express. If you didn't see the intro, we're paying homage to the fucking Midnight Express.
Good.
What I'm saying is, like, it's a little bit of something for everybody. If you like the fucking hardcore wrestling, which I'm not the biggest fan of anymore as I've gotten older, they got that. If you like the fucking technical wrestling, I dare you to tell me that fucking FTR isn't killing it in that regard. Hell, fucking Roderick Strong and fucking anything he's doing right now with the conglomeration, they're doing hell of a fucking match. The women's division, Tekla, fucking, I couldn't stand her ass. Now I'm a fan. I know she's not happy about that, but I like Tekla. That shit she did with fucking that little fucking tiger broad, that was awesome.
Yeah, what was her name? Starlight Kid.
Starlight Kid. Fucking that was.
It was funny. Jim Cornette, when they were like, he was like, "Oh, it's Tekla versus Starlight Kid," and Jim Cornette's like, "Who the fuck is Starlight Kid?"
Mercedes Moné has won him over again.
No, actually, I thought. Okay, I need you to come in for this one because we watched that match. Mercedes Moné against fucking Maya World, right? I was more world that her tits were going to fly out, that Maya World chick's tits were going to fly out, but I'll let her take over on that.
Why?
Because I'm the authority on tits, apparently, because I have some.
No, I think this is to protect himself.
That ring gear was horrendous. And you were the one who commented on how heavy her wig was, that it wasn't that she shouldn't wear something quite like
So no. So okay, it's in the same rail talking about Jade Cargill. Say what you want, but Jade Cargill will wear a wig that usually like is not going to pull off her fucking head. Maya World came out there with a wig that was about fucking 10 pounds, and every time she turned around, the track on the wig was slowly sliding up, like she was going to lose her fucking hair. Again, look. It's a show, right? Even if we call it a Broadway, right? Like Gerard, whenever fucking Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart had their 60-minute Broadway, right? That's how we refer to it, right? So if it's a performance, if it's a show, that means every aspect from the way you get in that ring to the gear you wear should be in consideration when you do something. So this idea that you're coming out there with some shit that's going to pop your tits out when you know you're going to have a competitive match with somebody and you're wearing a wig that's 20 fucking pounds, it's going to slide out, that can be used as a fucking weapon, that all needs to be taken into fucking consideration.
Man,
Well, it wasn't even that the outfit was so tight the tits were going to pop out. It was
Hey,
loose. And
to
she
use
couldn't
that
keep them in.
comparison, though,
So at the end, it was just bra. Like she stopped trying to tuck them back in.
to use that comparison, there are some shows that only last one night on Broadway.
Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark. That's that's a deep
So,
cut right there.
And I'll say I was really surprised that they let Mercedes Moné win as hard as they were. And it's tragic. The tragic passing of her brother, like only a couple of weeks ago. The way they kept talking about that, I thought for sure they were going to give her the belt.
Well, but at the same breath, I think they did a good job because they made 2 stars that night, right? So it was probably Mercedes' best match. There were some botches, but I would say Maya World made more botches. But Mercedes came out of that. She looked great. I'm looking forward to her and Tekla's just verbal sparring because Tekla and her, these dumb bitches. I'm looking forward to that. But Maya World came out of there, and I think.
Since when was maybe Mercedes Moné freaking Michelangelo on the freaking microphone?
I'm not talking.
I was going to say, yeah. What
I'm
great
saying is-
Mercedes? When I was a
Don't
little
talk
girl,
about 11 belts, Mercedes Moné. Let's come on now.
I'm not talking about
When I
her
was a
mic
little
work.
girl,
I'm
every time she
okay,
does a
I'm
promo.
not talking about her superior mic work. I'm talking about you're going to have a girl in Mercedes who's going to talk a bunch of shit about how she's the boss and she's CEO and this and that, and you're going to have a
Well,
chick.
then she also
Hold
talks
on.
about,
Hold on.
hold on. She
You're
also
gonna
talks
have
about
a
how it's her
chick.
dream all the time. It's her
But you're gonna
dream
have-
to be a
you're
wrestler. I
gonna
don't
have
give a
a chick.
goddamn about your dream.
But Jacob, you're going to have a chick in Tekla who's going to shut every bit of that down.
It'll be a good promo.
This chick from Austria who's going to say, I don't give a fuck about your CEO. You're a dumb bitch like the rest of them. She's going to do that. She's going to put Mercedes in a position of
No, she's
uncomfort.
not. You want to know why? Because Tony ain't going to allow that to happen.
Okay, you said that, okay? You said that. Okay, well, Tony just allowed Tekla to put her hands on the owner of Stardom, to shave his fucking head in the ring, to slap him around. This is a guy who's the owner of a fucking company. Granted, he had to, but he allowed her to do that. You think he's not going to allow her to push that line?
Or did the owner of Stardom allow her to do it?
No, but in the same breath, do you think that if she was allowed to do that, if Tony doesn't let her push that narrative, he's fucking himself? And I don't think they've come a long fucking. If you would just give the fucking product a real chance.
No, what I'm saying is Mercedes Moné has head up her own ass so much, she might not allow that.
Okay, but you said that, and I'm not. Look, this is not me fucking siding with Mercedes. I'm not a Mercedes fan. I don't think I think she has more bad matches than good. But you said it yourself last year. She was never going to drop all those titles. You know what? She did. She went out to every fucking promotion and dropped every album but one because she had a travel issue, and then she tried to fix it, and they wouldn't. They said, no, we're just mail us the belt. She tried to drop that last one, but she dropped all 11 fucking belts. She did that.
Mercedes Moné wants to go to Mexico. I'm not going to have it. Yeah, you're not going to drop. She's not going to Mexico. It's going to suck. So
why is she having travel issues? Now all of a sudden she has.
Okay, so wait, you're not going to give her the credit for she dropped all 10, tried to make accommodations to come and drop the next one or drop it on another spot show or whatever, and they told her verbatim, it's okay, just give us the belt back. She tried. She put in the effort. Quit making me like no. This is the shit you do. This is what. It's
no, wait a minute. Hold on. You got to let me into this one.
Okay, hold on. It's not the fact that we argue, Gerard. It's not the fact that we argue that pisses me off. It's the fact that you make me defend people I don't want to fucking defend.
Okay, now let me finish.
Might as well just have mailed them a turd. I mean, to be honest.
If she didn't hold the company hostage for those titles,
that is true.
in the first place,
how the fuck did she hold them hostage?
Well, because she won the titles and never. Yeah, she won the
defended them.
titles and doesn't defend. Like, you know, again,
She
you shouldn't be
did.
the top champion if you're not there every week. At least like in that situation.
Come
I
on,
get it if you're
Jacob. Come on.
No,
They're the
no.
women's. And let's just call it like it is. They're the women's titles. Yeah, they're defending those every week.
Yes, because they always feature the women on every single show.
Yeah, Gerard, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because that's what's going on in wrestling right now. Women's wrestling is
Women's wrestling is hot, and
when
you know,
you're
it's
a
happening.
wrestler who thinks you become bigger than the business, which Mercedes Moné has even stated herself.
And so I'm gonna just throw this out there. I know it might blow some fucking minds here.
Dan is Mexican.
It's scripted.
No, I'm saying yes. We all know that, but Mercedes Moné believes she is.
Do you? Are you in her head right now? Quit making me defend her. Fuck. Quit making me defend her. Please.
I'm saying to you is this: there are certain people who've been in the business who believe they're bigger than the titles they hold. Guess what? The titles you hold make you the person that you are, not the other way around.
Wait. So you're saying the belt makes the man?
Yes, the man don't make the title because why? As quickly as you win it, you can lose it. Because guess what?
So you're saying
the titles are only for the fans. They're not for the people who own them.
So you're saying that the belt makes the star, right? It's because of the belt they're worth the
Jack
story, right?
Swagger was the world heavyweight champion. David Arquette was the world heavyweight champion.
Hey, I would love to see Caitlin Clark in the ring.
What I'm saying, Gerard, is you're talking shit. And again, I'm not a Mercedes Moné fan, but the woman did right. Say what the fuck you want. She did right. She dropped the belts. She went in there and she didn't steamroll this Maya World chick. Hold on. No, look, if they're willing to put the belts on her. So hold on. What's any different than fucking Kenny Omega doing it? Let's go further back. What's the difference between Ultimo Dragon back in the 90s carrying every fucking All Japan, New Japan, and CMLL belt?
Please don't compare Kenny Omega to Ultimo Dragon.
Where he refused to lose a title because Bret Hart himself thought he was bigger than the title.
This has nothing to do with Bret Hart. Why are you bringing Bret Hart into this?
Because it's the same situation.
No, what multiple belts did Bret have?
Oh, he only had the most important one that he refused to drop.
Because he was done dirty. I'm going to be...
No. Wait, hold on. No, wait. He wasn't done dirty before he refused to drop it. But because he refused to drop it, they had to do him dirty.
So what does this have to do?
He asked to drop it in his hometown.
Didn't he say he said he gave them options for a way out? And this has not. Wait, hold on. He's doing the same shit. He's doing. Hold on, Jacob. He knows he is. He's doing the same shit. This has nothing to do with Mercedes. It has everything to do with no. Fuck that. This has no. He's doing that shit. He's doing that shit. He's the king of deflection.
Canada. I can't drop the belt in Canada. Why don't we just?
He's doing the same fucking shit. Where he tried, I fall for it every time.
As bad as Sami just won it in Saudi Arabia. Why?
No, fuck that. We're not talking about Sami, fucker. We're talking about Mercedes Moné, and you're trying to change the subject because you're wrong, and you know you're wrong. So here it is. You're gonna get me doing two things I don't like. I like going on tangents with your ass because you're full of shit, and two, we're gonna get back to the topic where I have to fucking defend Mercedes Moné. Because
you're usually the one who's breaking off camera to go to the bathroom, so I'm not full of shit.
When's the last time I had to do that shit?
Well,
anyway, Mercedes Moné. Look, I have to defend her because it's the right thing. She dropped the belts like she was supposed to. Hold on, and then she had a good match with this girl who's a relatively green wrestler. All right, she carried her to a point. Hold on, with this Maya World girl, and look. I didn't know who the fuck Maya World was before this tournament started. Didn't care who Maya World was. I don't know. Sad. Sorry, her brother passed away. All that jazz. That's not why I was watching her. I was watching her because it was presented to me, and I watched it, and it was a decent match. Yes, were there some spots there? Yeah, there was a little but you made a credible fucking challenger for down the road. Not only that, Athena, who you and I can agree is a damn good wrestler, the former Ember Moon. Athena is amazing in the fucking ring. Hold on. She has been a champion of Ring of Honor. She calls herself the forever women's champion in Ring of Honor, almost as long as Roman Reigns was champion. And now, because of what happened, and because she is the teacher of Maya World and the history with them, you have built up a credible fucking person to finally dethrone Athena. They did all that in one match, Gerard. All of that. And where do they do that? In AEW, where they allow these motherfuckers to wrestle. You're a wrestling fan, damn it. You're not a sports entertainment fan. For as much as you talk shit, you talk about the good old days of fucking WCCW, which I got her yesterday to watch the fucking documentary on WCCW and how important it was to me and how important it was that program was to you. The likes of a Gino Hernandez, the likes of a gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, the likes of, did you say to Gino Hernandez?
No.
Did you just Gino Hernandez? You sure
No,
the fuck?
Gino,
I get it. But again, the likes of a Chris Adams. You are like you can look at your phone all day long and fucking not look me in the eye right now. But
I've just got the updates on Sheamus.
But the fact is this, Gerard, you are a pro wrestling fan. You're not a fucking sports entertainment fan. You talk all this shit, but AEW is putting on better fucking wrestling matches.
We're the best wrestle. Remember that promo from Adam Copeland after CM Punk buried after CM Punk, exposed the Jack Perry situation.
Next, they're gonna come out and say this is where the big boys play.
It's where that's kind of.
I'm gonna get a shirt made.
Remember when Chris Benoit said that?
That's a picture of Gerard touching his nipple like he was. Yeah, fucking Chris. Oh, we got Gerard over here touching his nipple, saying, "This is where the big boys play."
Yep, I wonder who said that one time coming out of the car.
Look at him.
The good old boys. This is where the good old boys. I'm just saying like this, okay? When you get too caught up in having that title, and you think, hey,
but she hasn't had a title in a long time now.
Well, to be fair, she's been gone for like 6 months before.
Correct. Doing what? Wait, I know what.
What did she, and she said, I was wrestling nonstop for the last 2 years.
She was charging people to text
her. I took a fucking break.
She was charging people to text her. That's what she was doing.
And guess what?
Yeah, she's not wrong.
Wait a
She's not wrong with that.
Oh, so she had to work for 2 years in a row? Oh my God! Holy shit! I know guys that used to work 300 days a year.
Gee, you can't. Like, I'm not asking you to give her a fucking pass. I'm just telling you what she's
saying. Tracy Smothers worked until he was dying and he was shitting on himself. So that's what sad. We got Mercedes. We got Mercedes out here making money, charging people to text her. And
right?
She has the Monet mag. We forgot about the Monet mag.
We had the 900 line. Mercedes Monet she's ran back up her own.
Are you getting charged for the Monet mag? Are either y'all getting charged for that? Are either you using the phone?
No.
Are you calling?
I think you have to pay like a subscription to it.
No, do you have a subscription to that? Either of y'all?
No.
You just canceled yours? Okay.
Because
I know you're forced. Because you're forced to fucking do it, right? Because you're forced to do it.
I'm more focused on a Cora Jade's.
Wait, hold on. I bet you Jacob is still got what's her face on?
Don't change the fucking subject, fucker.
Mandy.
No, you don't need to. It's free for online if you know where to look.
Mandy Sacramone. What was her name?
Mandy Sacramone. What the fuck is a Mandy Sacramone? Mandy Rose.
No, Mandy Rose. Her real name was something like that. I bet that he still has Mandy Rose on Tinder.
See, and here's the fucking thing. If you're new here, we got people watching.
No, I don't pay for that shit. It's free.
And I see people watching. If you're new here, this is what Gerard does. He likes to fucking just muddy the waters. He'll change the subject. He's basically our Roddy Piper. When we have the answers, he changes the fucking question because he's a fucking jack off like that. That's what he fucking does.
Jack off?
That's not Saba Simba. That's Tony Atlas.
Jack off.
Only one person on this planet can frustrate me like he does, and it's fucking him. Anyway, hold on. What?
That's what you get upset for when you start the human money.
The human money. Okay, again, another thing that me and Jacob were pushing for fucking over a year, how Danhausen was the fucking guy. He's the man. And again, he gets paired by the gobbledygooker by Gerard. He sucks. This guy, you're telling me this guy was supposed to be great. It took one fucking night and one phrase. Why is this wet? Because I pulled it out of the toilet.
No, because it fell in the toilet.
It fell in the toilet. And after that, look at him. He bought a t-shirt. He's a fan. He wants him to have a blimp. All these things.
He got the picture. He just didn't get inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Again, all it's going to take. But see, I'm the one doing the necessary homework here because I'm the one watching Raw. I'm the one watching SmackDown. I'm the one watching AEW fucking Dynamite and Collision and the pay-per-views.
I do have a real job.
So do I, fucker. But I'm watching this stuff so I can get an honest opinion. Remember, I was with you a year ago and being done with WWE. I'm sorry, being done with AEW. And remember, I'll tell you exactly why. Because as much as I don't like Hulk Hogan, as much as I don't like Terry Bollea and the things that he's allegedly done and the things he's said and shit, we would not be here if it was not for Terry Bollea. We would not be here if it wasn't for the contributions to the wrestling world that Hulk Hogan brought.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Dan. And I know I'm thinking premature about this.
You do a lot of things premature, but go ahead.
What's the reaction when Vince McMahon dies?
I can't, in a clear conscience, give you that answer because I'll probably get kicked off the fucking air.
Should he get recognition one way?
No.
None at all.
No.
He shouldn't get any recognition.
That's my opinion. All right. So
I'm saying your opinion. Like,
okay,
I'm
so
asking you.
I try to give you this answer, and I don't know if I've ever said it properly. Did you ever watch the documentary we did on Vince McMahon? Did you ever sit down and watch the full documentary we did on Vince McMahon?
Is that the one where you talked about Ashley and stuff like that?
Yes.
It's been so long ago, I can't remember. I can't remember watching all of it.
Okay, and I get it. It's an hour long. I understand that. But at some point, I would recommend anybody that's here should watch it. She did an amazing job on that, the research that was done. But while doing that you know that Vince took down that video originally. That everything within that video is the truth. Everything is based on fact. And the toll emotionally, and to find out, because I grew up idolizing Vince. And it's my fault. I'm not going to sit here and say it's his fault. It's my fault because I believed that the man that I saw on TV who pulled himself up from being in a trailer park and all this other shit and doing everything he did to become a billionaire, I thought I love the character. I love the person Vince McMahon as a person. I thought, man, if he can do this, anybody can succeed. And then it's like the old adage. You should never look behind the velvet rope. You should never truly see your heroes, because after watching that and finding out who he really was and listening to the interviews with Paul London and the words of Ashley Mazzaro herself coming out, and I'll tell you this, I never truly fucking was on board with the whole Rita Chatterton thing. I was never truly on board with the whole Janelle Grant thing. But to sit here and watch what happened to Ashley Mazzaro and the people like a Gary fucking Hart, like all these people that knew about it and didn't say shit, and watch. And again, I'm truly of the belief that Ashley raised her daughter to the age of 18 and she ended her own life because of the things that company put her through. And one of those things was she was told by Vince and by that company that she wasn't going to have to wrestle, that she was going to be basically a spokesperson. And then they put her in the ring. And then she said, fine, if you're going to put me in the ring, fine. But I need adequate training. And she wanted to do it. We were watching her, Trips and I were watching some of her old matches. And she was green as goose shit. But the girl was trying. You could see, even back then, she put everything into it. And for someone,
she had great charisma, too. She just had,
and again, you know why? You know how serious it is? Jacob is not talking shit right now. Where Jacob would also throw in a one-liner and talk shit. I'll tell you right now, I don't know how spiritual you are or how spiritual. I felt like she reached out to us to put her story out there. It kills me that this man had a hand in what happened to her, and I think he'll never go to jail for it. He'll never get punished for it. The best punishment that they can hope for is that his legacy is so tarnished, he'll never, ever get an accolade again. That's why. And look, you have a different story of the man, and I get that. I'm not here to tell you, Gerard, he's a piece of shit, you should never like him. I'm here to tell you that's my side. That's how I feel.
She was great on Survivor, too. She was also on Survivor for a season. So I'm a big Survivor fan. But yeah, you know, shitty.
Oh, and
situation.
Stephanie absolutely holds some of that blame.
She asked her for training.
Yeah.
Because she asked Stephanie for training, and Stephanie said no.
Yeah.
Again, Gerard,
Shitty
and Gerard, this is not for you to dislike him. I know you look. You had those moments. You got to talk to the guy in the elevator. You worked for the motherfucker. He in some way, shape, and form, he molded part of your life, and I would never take that away. But I can't sit here in clear conscience and tell you, oh, I'm just the biggest Vince fan, and if he were to say this and this, I'd be just, oh well, if we could get him on the show.
You can shit on my head.
I can't.
Well, I want you to put up a lead just put there.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Hold on, and then put right after that. Let's put right after that. Put $, $. It's like, hey, let's get rid of Aaron Judge.
Use your words, Gerard. Use your words.
I'm just saying, let's get rid of Aaron Judge. I'm trying to think of 3 good baseball players,
or just talk about good wrestlers. Because it's a wrestling podcast.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's get rid of Roman Reigns. Let's get
Not
rid
a
of
baseball podcast, Gerard.
hold on. Let's get rid of Roman Reigns.
I like baseball.
CM Punk, and let's get rid of Obafemi, and let's bring in Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Listen.
Because that's
Enzo and Cass,
basically what they're doing.
I can't sit here and say that Enzo and Cass don't have a near and dear place in my heart. I bought pretty much every single Enzo and Cass t-shirt.
Soft.
That's because you're soft, Jacob. You're soft.
Yeah, yes. It's very, far from it. But it's the.
We know that shirt gives you a boner, so we know you're not soft.
It's very near and dear to my boners, Enzo and Cass. And I think that bringing them back, on 2016 nostalgia. And again, we're bringing back Baron Corbin. I don't think they should have ever fired Baron Corbin in the first place. Hot take, sorry.
Well, I also don't think they should have fired Dijak, but.
Yeah, well, again, this is where I'm kind of pissed because, again, if they're bringing Baron Corbin in, they should bring Dijak in too. Because
that would be a fucking tag team right there.
Yeah, well, because they're a tag team in MLW. They're the fucking MLW tag team champions as the Skyscrapers. Great tag team name, underutilized.
He's a fun guy to work with too.
Well, Dijak's fucking great. Like, he's always been great, and it sucks that, he's kind of in obscurity right now, kind of with Karrion Kross, because Karrion Kross is kind of doing fucking weird, Australian wrestling shows.
Karrion Kross is making fucking bank right now.
I know he's making a shit ton of money. I mean, but still, he should still be in WWE too.
Let me ask you this one question though: was Xavier Woods past his time? Because in my mind, he still should have been let go. He should have still been let go with Brad Maddox. That wasn't his fault. Okay, hey, that firing should have been coming for a long time.
That wasn't his fault. It's not his fault that Brad Maddox leaked out the fucking sex tape. Right.
He was the only one coming in that situation.
But my question is no. But here's the problem with that. Okay, you get women out there that put out videos where they're not even naked and get let go.
Okay, first of all, Paige didn't put the video out. It got leaked by Brad Maddox. It got leaked pretty much by Brad Maddox, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably why Brad Maddox got eliminated. The cover.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying there have been women.
Brad Maddox.
There's been women who've been fired for less than what Xavier Woods did. Why?
He didn't do anything.
Hold on. You're
anything.
Nothing fair about it, Gerard. Hold on. You're talking about fair. Lita, Amy Dumas, was forced to have a live sex show at the behest of Vince, where her tit got leaked because her fucking blanket moved over on live television and her fucking nipple was exposed.
You gotta be completely naked.
And she couldn't say no. John Cena tried to stick up for her. Edge tried to stick up for her. And who pal made her have to go out there and do it, pal.
It's good shit.
Well, first of all, if she wasn't put in that situation because she allowed her personal life into the storyline in the first.
No, she didn't. Fucking Matthew Hardy fucking put that shit out because
That's
he's
what I'm saying. If the personal life didn't get put into the real life.
So wait, your boss. Hold on, I want you to, as a woman, you're gonna because you have to jump in.
Leader
Your boss. Hold on, I'm gonna ask. Hold on. I'm gonna ask a woman.
Both ways. It's a
I'm gonna ask a woman. Hold on, I'm gonna ask a woman. So okay, y'all jump down my throat all those months when I didn't agree with the page stuff. Okay, great, cool. So if your boss tells you got to get naked under some covers on live TV, or you probably won't have a job, is that okay? Hold on, and I'll go to trips.
I feel like that's an HR issue.
Hey, wait a minute.
I feel like that is a definition of coercion and using your power and authority to hold over a woman.
Sarah, can we run it back a minute? Because a couple minutes ago, wasn't he the one saying that it's a scripted show?
Well,
yeah, and when she got the script, it's scripted. And when she got the script, she said she didn't want to do it. So
Vince is the
she
higher
said
power.
no.
Remember that?
And Vince said, you can do it or you can walk out the door. So yes, it's scripted. She didn't want to do it. Francine didn't want to rub oil on her tits. The notion that any woman in that company in any
Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure there was a lot of
anything
guys in the world that would have gladly rubbed oil on her. Jacob would have been all over that.
But again, you're trying.
The notion that there's this equality within that company. Why can a man get away with it, but a woman can't? That is textbook 101. The problem with WWF under Vince's leadership. Women didn't have equality. Women didn't have the rights to be their own individuals. Men could do whatever the hell they want to do, and the women got jack shit.
Well,
that's why they are where they are. That's why they celebrated when he left. The culture he built is toxic and horrible.
When Trish got on her hands and knees and barked like a dog, I gotta say, that was really empowering.
Yeah, that set women back quite a bit.
And it was I think it was empowering.
Okay with it was a cope. I don't believe for a second.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Yeah.
How come we've never actually heard her say anything bad?
Well, wait, hold on. Would you like my opinion on that?
Because
exactly. Why did Sable come back?
Everybody got a price.
Yeah, and some people, their dignity costs more than he has.
Well, I wonder how much Jackie got paid to take her shirt off in the middle of a pay-per-view.
Okay, but you deflect without answering the actual question. Do you think that's right? Do you think it was right that she was basically told if you don't get naked, you're fired?
She should have kept the clothes on.
I'm talking about fucking Lita.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think it was right? No. I want an honest answer. Do you think it was right? If that was your daughter, was that okay?
The exact words that were used, no.
That's exactly what he told her. That's what she'll look up the interview. She said it.
So you're taking the story from one side again.
From her.
Right. Did somebody go and interview Vince and ask Vince if that's
okay. So we're also talking about the same guy who's been accused of the same thing for the last 30 years.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? What happened?
Vince being a piece of shit still.
Oh, yeah, no.
We can go back.
So going all the way back to the original question that Gerard asked me, do I think that he ever deserves acknowledgement again? No.
Sorry,
and that's, again, I'm not here to change your mind, Gerard.
You can say Hogan's the reason why we're all talking.
Absolutely.
I say in the same breath, was the dance partner he had Vince, which is the reason why too.
Okay, I don't agree with that, and here's why. Yes.
Where's Hogan without Vince?
Hold on. Vince gave him a hell of a fucking platform. But if you go back.
Well, who's Undertaker without Vince though? Like that's the thing.
But that's different. That's apples and oranges.
But Undertaker. I mean, look at where Undertaker's doing now.
We still have wrestling without Undertaker. We still have wrestling.
Exactly. That's true. I'm saying is, if you go back, Minnesota, the AWA, Hogan had already caught fire. Rocky III, Hogan had caught fire. Thunder Lips, again, Hogan was a star. Vince was a brilliant mind in the fact that he saw star.
And if you with muscles.
Hogan needed the machine behind him.
Agreed.
Hogan said
But
it
what I'm saying is, I want you to really think back. Hogan, Piper, Dusty, everybody that Vince made all that money, even fucking the Texas
Killer
Tornado.
Hey, let's go
Hold
back
on.
to Jesse Ventura.
Vince never made one.
Ventura
Look, can you tell me one star Vince actually made that he didn't steal? Other than The
Killer
Undertaker.
Bees. The Killer Bees.
Yeah.
Nope, because they were already a big deal in Canada.
You're going to tell me Macho
Shout out to
Man?
B. Brian
he
Blair.
Macho Man?
Oh no, he didn't. Macho Man was already a big deal in his father's promotion. Randy Savage was a big deal, and he was already that character. He bought that character. Next, Kurt Hennig was already a big deal in fucking AWA.
First of all, he went to WWE first, went back to AWA
No, Kurt Hennig.
I remember that he fought Eddie Gilbert in Madison Square Garden. Then he left and went back to AWA.
No, he was in AWA. He wrestled under his father, Larry the Axe Hennig, with Vern Gagne. And he was the AWA champion because he beat Nick Bockwinkel. They brought him over to WWE for a short stint to see what he was going to do. And then he came back as Mr. Perfect. So tell me, he was already that guy. When he was just Kurt Hennig, he was that guy because he was that good in the fucking ring. Kurt Hennig, there will never be another one because he was exactly as booked, absolutely perfect.
I would argue the only person that Vince actually made that's homegrown by Vince, and I agree. Again, he was in AWA before, but I think Shawn Michaels is probably the only example of that.
And I would argue that too.
But he was because he was there with Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, he was the Rockers. They were the Rockers in AWA.
Yeah, but I just what was Michaels' character, I just think he's
so. And I would say that Bret Hart was the same, but the only thing is these guys were already big deals in their other territories.
Stampede, yeah.
He knew how to properly promote them.
The only thing
to not.
So
could you make an argument for Roman Reigns though?
But that and I get where you're coming from there. I'm talking about now. All right, I'm talking about now.
Repo Man.
Repo Man.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Well, even Barry Dorsey before. The gimmicks.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but there's this show I just discovered. It's called the Lucas Bros Moving Company. It's a cartoon, and they have Repo Man on there. They call him the repossess. Barry. He actually Barry Darso actually voiced him, and it's pretty funny. They have Jake the Snake Roberts on there too, but they keep calling him the Repossession Man. They're like, it's the Repossession Man. So, yeah.
But what I'm saying is this: every top star that, other than Taker, I'll argue that you're right with Taker because me and Mark wouldn't go nowhere in fucking WCW. But other than Taker, every top star, from your Snookas to your Pipers to your Bretts to anybody else, was made somewhere else, and Vince had the fucking knowledge to bring them into his territory and fuck everybody else. Because that's how the end of the territories happened. It wasn't that Vince had a better product. Vince just took everybody's talent. I agree with that. He's an excellent promoter, but he couldn't create shit other than the dead man.
The territories killed the territory.
For instance, hold on. This is how fucking shitty he was at that. I'm educating her on some of the old school stuff, right? But one of the things we watched today was the APA. You have Ron Simmons, legitimate college fucking all-star, number retired at Florida State, one of the greatest fucking athletes to come out of that state. He went on to become the very first African-American world champion under WCW, under the management and the booking of Cowboy Bill Watts. I think the quote was when Ron Simmons was told, "You're gonna win the world title today." He said, "Wait, what do you mean? Why am I in this spot?" And Bill Watts said, who's always accused of being a racist, and I don't believe it for a second because Bill Watts looked at Ron Simmons and said, "Why not you? You deserve it." Beat Vader, legitimate badass at the time, Big Van Vader. I'm not talking about the watered down version Vader time bullshit we got in WWF. I'm talking about Big Van Vader. Ron Simmons beat him with a power slam. Now, you take that athlete, that star, you bring him over to WWE, and what do? You put him in fucking gladiator gear and a leather fucking helmet and call him Farouk. Yeah, because Vince really knows what to do with talent.
Hey, the Nation of Domination ruled though.
Hey,
Yeah, and that was Farouk's doing. That wasn't Vince's fucking creation.
the natural Butch Reed.
The Mountie. That's what the fans need. The Mountie.
The honky tonk man.
I knew that was coming.
The honky tonk man.
You ever hear about the two below?
I still say he defended that title more than.
And that's great. But Gerard, I'm sorry, Vince was a great promoter. Couldn't create his way out of a fucking paper bag.
My favorite honky tonk man story is when he was doing a shoot interview one time, and he was like, they were talking about a certain rabid Wolverine who committed a tragedy, and he was just like, and honky tonk man was
still hanging around, Jacob.
Yeah, well,
wow.
honky tonk man.
Wow.
Well, and honky tonk man. I just got that, goddamn it. Honky Tonk Man was just all like, yeah, I knew Chris quite well, and it's just, we Nancy was great too, but we don't know what button she pushed. We don't know what button she pushed. Like, oh no,
that's fucked up.
And then New Jack, it was a New Jack and Honky Tonk Man shoot, and the Iron Sheik was there too. And New Jack comes in, he's like,
the interview must have lasted 3 hours for one question.
Oh yeah, it's a great shoot interview if you go find it. It's amazing. They're like drinking the whole time. It's great. But then New Jack's like, I've had a lot of bitches that I wanted to choke the life out of, but Nancy was a friend of mine. New Jack just goes off about like 5 minutes.
So we derailed the podcast again. Again, what I'm getting at is Vince is as much as we talk about lightning striking and lightning in a bottle, Vince was the luckiest son of a bitch in the history of wrestling because he had a guy. Hold on, he had a guy who was born in Edna, Texas.
He had a guy that was born in Montreal, Canada, named Pierre Clermont. Without Pierre Clermont, Vince McMahon created nothing.
Are you telling me right now that Pat Patterson was responsible for Steve Austin?
Pat Patterson, yes.
You're going to tell me Pat Patterson was responsible for Steve Austin, who was Steve Austin in ECW well before he was ever...
No, what I'm saying is...
Paul Heyman is more responsible for Steve Austin than fucking Pat Patterson.
No, I'm saying is without Pat, Vince McMahon doesn't create nothing.
Okay. I agree with that to an extent because, again, like from all the stories that have been told, it was always Vince and Pat by the pool.
What I'm saying is they had nothing left. In 1996, they didn't have shit. Everything was going down. They were close to fucking bankruptcy.
They had Damien Demento. What are you talking about?
They had Damien fucking Demento. And they decided to let a redneck from fucking Texas be himself. Because they heard
No, he started
No, I'm talking after the ringmaster gimmick.
Oh, okay. When they heard Thurman Sparky Plug. Come on, Thurman Sparky Plug.
And when they had a guy come out there and cut a promo that said, Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. And it caught fire. And they said, fuck it. I'm not always going to say that Sean was great back then, but what Sean told Vince, why don't you just let us do our thing? He had no other option because they were getting their asses beat so bad by WCW. The company that you're ragging on so bad, they had their asses beat by WCW so bad that Vince had no choice but to sit the fuck down and let other people do the job.
Let me ask you this. The next night on Raw, after the King of the Ring, if nobody brings a 316 sign,
that's the end of the company.
There's a different company today.
Yeah, there is no WWF. If it wasn't for the popularity of Stone Cold Steve Austin and him and his fight the system. Now, I'll give you this: the Vince McMahon character, amazing, hands down, if not the one of the
only thing he would create that of himself
because it was him.
Yeah, that's it. But here's the thing: if you go back and look before that. How many characters did he create
that were shit?
Off his personal. That's what he wanted to portray.
What he wanted to be? Yeah, he wanted to be Lex Luger. He wanted to be Lex Luger, and he wanted to be the $1 Million Man.
The $1 Million Man.
Undertaker too. He's literally, like I think Bruce Pritchard said that like he made the Undertaker like what he's always wanted to be a wrestling. Like that's what his character, like what his creative wrestler.
The $1 Million Man and Mr. Perfect. That's what he wanted to be.
But he couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. He took guys and brought the best out of them, but he made a bunch of fucking duds. He promoted great. His business acumen is and again, his style. You don't need him to come back to help you do business. It's right there.
Let me see this.
Just lower, like people keep saying about Vince about if they bring him back, they're going to lower the ticket prices and do all this. And it's like, yeah.
Vince didn't make The Rock. The fans made The Rock.
Yeah.
The fans made The Rock.
I can't argue with that. You're right.
The fans made him.
But the fact is, again, you give this guy, we're going all the way back to almost an hour ago when we started that conversation. You asked me, do I think that he needs any accolades? No, I think this is just desserts for all the fucked up bullshit he's done. He doesn't deserve to be in his own fucking Hall of Fame, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve fucking anything.
Does he get a 10 count?
What? No.
Does he deserve a 10 count?
I'm sure they will. And again, when he probably is found innocent of all this shit, great, good for him. But he's taken so much damage because of the actual shit he's done. And what really kills me is this. They'll harp on this girl got shit on her head, which she probably was okay with it at the time because she was getting bank. But the girls and the people that actually suffered, the real fucking victims of his fucking tyranny, will never get justice. So if this is the closest form of justice that they can get, is that he's never in his own Hall of Fame and that he will forever live on the outskirts, just this fucking close, right there. Like he could fucking reach it. He could taste it of being immortalized.
Basically saying he doesn't have the key to open the security gate.
Basically, yeah. and then I'll take it because that's worse for me. In my opinion, that is worse for him than actually getting punished, is that he'll never realize those accolades that he so desperately needs. He's a fucking egomaniac. In my opinion, again, he's an egomaniac and he'll never get that ego satiated, and it's justice for the people that he fucked over all those years.
Greatest ECW champion of all time, though. So that's, I think that should just be, mortalized.
There was a promo. Hold on. There was a promo done by Paul Heyman that felt more real. And again, he was able to shoot. You remember that one, right, Jacob? The one that Paul Heyman did? Where he was talking to Vince. And I've never felt something more real than that.
I love that promo, but him going off on Taz at the end ruins it for me because
but that was part of the storyline.
Yeah, it's just everything he said about Taz was true, and it's just Taz just had to choke him out for being petty.
But again, okay, so back to what the show is about, because we still got other topics we have to get to. In talking about this, and Drake, I'm glad you're back on this part. I'm doing the necessary homework. I'm giving every company a chance. I'm watching AAA. I'm watching WWE. I'm watching AEW. Hell, I'm watching reruns from New Japan. I'm getting her into the documentary so she can have an understanding of WCCW and the things that we fell in love with. So we all are a more understanding group. Jacob, on his own, has been a fan of AAA. And yes, Jacob gets frustrated with fucking AEW, but Jacob actually gives it a chance. And I think Jacob would agree with me that the product that we have in AEW now, set from over a year and a half ago, is a better fucking product. And they're actually doing great work now. Contrary, yeah, it was shit last year because they were trying to copy WWE. And that was a mistake. You, my friend, who I love dearly, my brother from another mother, even though you're a fucking maniac, do not give anybody else but your precious WWE a chance.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Tomorrow night's going to send a lot of signals. If they do not hit a home run tomorrow night, they have to hit a home run tomorrow night. Have to. When you hear that music tomorrow night, if it doesn't knock it out of the ballpark with the fans, what else do you have left?
For what? WWE or for Raw?
You hear Cult of Personality tomorrow night. If it doesn't hit, if they don't hit it out of the ballpark with his promo or anything, what do you have left? Because, The Rock ain't walking through the door. Austin ain't walking through the door. Taker ain't walking through that door. What do you have left?
Jinder's not walking through that door.
Wait, hold on. You know who's waiting for their phone call?
And that's travesty, Jacob.
Heath Slater's waiting for the phone call.
He's got kids.
So as far as John, you're right. Again, I have an opinion. I'm not sitting here and I can't ever say that he's been convicted of shit. All I have to go by is everything that we've learned And again, when I talk about everything we've learned, this is stuff that's coming out of his mouth. I really would love for you to watch the thing we created, Gerard. It was the moment she made a Tess Holiday video, and that was great. But when she made the Vince McMahon stuff, and with everything we went through in making that, when she made that, and everything we learned, it was him. It was his words. Nothing in that documentary is an opinion.
It was his shit.
It was everything he said.
Everything he put on TV.
And everything he put on TV, and every interview he did an interview with Playboy. He did a bunch of shit. He did shit with Howard Stern. All the stuff that came out was out of his own mouth. And why they would try to take that down, you fucking said it, dickhead. I had nothing to do with it, Vince. You said it, fucker. That's where again, you're talking to a guy. I have a tattoo of the motherfucker on the back of my fucking
I'm saying
chest.
to you is, if they don't hit a home run tomorrow night with CM Punk's return, right? If they don't do that tomorrow night.
Sammy and Cody are going for the title tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night, right? Like,
No.
Is that what's happening?
No. CM Punk's coming back, apparently.
CM Punk, I'm saying he comes back tomorrow night. They're in Chicago. Obviously, he's going to get the pop. My thing is this. They saw the backlash from giving the title to Sami. They saw that backlash, right? It's 3 years too late. Let's just say it like it is. And you only gave it to him for one reason, because it was in Saudi Arabia.
No, and I'm with you, John, and I get that. Like I said, I get that, but I'm also going to tell you, if I did something fucking wrong, I did it, and and maybe that's, and I think Gerard may agree on that at least. Like, if I did something, motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you, hey, yeah, I fucking punched that motherfucker. Yeah, I fucking stabbed up. I did it. I'm not gonna. Well, you know, and a lot of day, it could seem like I did it, but I didn't do it. You know, I'm gonna tell you. And the thing is, I think he's
Sammy and Cody are going for the title tomorrow.
No.
Sammy, yeah. So
no, but I'm just saying the fact of, has the product definitely taken a hit in the past? Since we gave Triple H a 1 year whatever, but after that 1 year, let's say it like it is. Since Cody took over, business is not.
And I agree with you there. Like I said, like I've always been a fan of the babyface chasing the belt. Like I said, if you really look back at Steve Austin's run, he wasn't champion very long. He had a couple of championship reigns.
We can say one thing. Listen, the pile driver from hell didn't help either.
No, it didn't. But the fact is, like, it was always about him chasing the world title, right?
Undertaker was really good in that too. Like, he was always good, like chasing.
I love the Undertaker versus Batista stuff, and I love the Undertaker versus Edge. The Undertaker versus Edge stuff was so underrated because he was slimy as shit. He was so slimy, and the way he's gonna find the edge heads and all that shit with fucking Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. The way those motherfuckers cost him the belt.
Again, I hate that storyline because like fucking Edge was making out with Vicky Guerrero every fucking week.
It was disgusting at times, but yes, but again, it was not X-Pac heat, right? Like, I wanted him to legitimately beat Edge. It wasn't bad.
I wanted someone to just beat Vicky Guerrero. Sorry.
John, I agree with you. Okay, so John, I'm with you on that because I think it's the same with a lot of people in Hulk Hogan.
I think that could be reversed. I think it's reversed.
Oh no, I didn't mind the character, but the character turned out to be the real man. That's what.
I'm saying. I'm saying is though, if you ever notice when Vince comes out to do a promo, that's a heartfelt moment, and when he totally breaks character, and goes back to just being Vince, the fans usually are more on him than they would be if he's coming out.
I can't tell you that. I can't agree or disagree with that because I'm to a point where I don't see a difference anymore.
Well, when was Vince ever heartfelt though? That's what I mean. Like, even when he was in that documentary that they did on Netflix, like the only thing he was ever heartfelt about was like, when people hurt me.
Well, no, because to give him his credit, and let's put it like this: anytime a performer passed away, other than in the ring, and he had to come out and make the announcement, and he had to do that stuff,
or unless that he would just have JR say that Owen Hart's passed away. Right?
Listen,
that was okay.
And when they did the thing to where he got blown up in the limo, when you're gonna be, and then he comes back the
Chris Benoit thing. I know what you're gonna say.
What I'm saying is when he comes out and does, we can all agree he made the right call at the right time of that night for Chris Benoit. But
Who?
No.
Who? What happened?
Who?
Chris Benoit.
Who?
What happened?
What happened to him?
What did he do?
I'm saying is, when he made the call to do what he did, everybody agreed for that day. It was the right call.
No, I'm not knocking him about that, Gerard. What I'm saying is, I don't believe shit that comes out of his mouth anymore because I think he's a really good actor.
Hey,
I think he's a damn good actor.
And you know what? There's a lot of actors in the world.
Okay, so don't twist this. Like, hey, look, you could turn it around, but I think, like, I'm just telling you, if you
Raven, hold on.
would you tell that maniac of a son of yours?
Oh, God.
Love that guy. Would you tell him that the only way, if he was working his entire life to be like you, and he wanted this, he wanted to take over the empire one day, and you're grooming him to one day do this, the only way that he could do it is if he had to stab you in the fucking chest with a steak knife, and you said, and if you don't do it, I have to take that into consideration.
He'd already have the knife in his hand?
Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean. You wouldn't tell your son that, though, dick.
I tell him that just to get him to cut his hair.
But what I'm saying is, you're a good fucking father. All right. Just in the interactions I've seen with you and your son, you, my friend, are an excellent fucking father. Your son has grown up to respect you. Doesn't always do what you want him to do, but he loves you and he respects you. And you can have those conversations with him. My father is the greatest man I fucking know.
You know what? Hey, Dan, you'll understand this one. Doesn't it suck when your dad becomes your friend?
No, I was like, okay, so that
I can attest to that.
That I'm saying is, it's like my kid become my friend. It's like, how did that happen? That my kid became my friend.
What I'm saying is this: you're a good father. You raised your son. You were his father until he was a man, and now he's your friend, and that's great. Go back to that documentary. Hold on. Go back to that documentary. What did Shane? Shane felt his own son's hand on his back, and he thought it was his dad. And at 40-something years old, that was the greatest moment of his life, and it was a lie because he thought it was his dad, but it was his son.
I hate that I laughed at that. It was funny.
How fucked up is that? That you're a father again, and you would think that he would be a better father because again, Vince didn't know his own father until he was in his teens.
Dan, can we say so it can go across all lines of this? Sometimes a lot of businessmen don't know the difference between business and personal because they allow the business part to get into their lives way too much.
Well, yeah, like, guys like Kevin Nash, you use your son, your son dies and you make a podcast the next day, doing Blue Chew ad reads,
You're never going to let that go.
Tristan Nash. Yeah. How fucked up is that, though? Tristan Nash would have wanted this channel at 100K. No, like, I would have just, if you're going to fucking throw your son under the bus, I would have gone for $1 million. It's like you might as well just fucking.
But what I'm getting at is, that is pretty fucked. If it's true, yeah, that's pretty fucked.
No, but
it's 100% true.
He's not the only businessman in the world who's ever decided to take the business route.
Okay, so what point do you decide that you want to be a good father or you want to be a good fucking businessman? Okay, would you agree that Ric Flair is the greatest father in the world?
I don't think Ric Flair agrees that he's the greatest father in the world.
Okay, and how much damage did that do to his kids?
I think it caused one of them to commit suicide.
Okay, so would you agree? Would you agree that takes a toll on someone's life? You being a good father, and this is one of the times I'm complimenting you, Gerard, so I know it's going to blow your mind. You being an excellent fucking father, would you trade that for what Vince has? And I'm asking honestly, would you trade what you have now with your kids and the love and devotion of your kids for all the money in the world?
$10 for my son? No.
And we're getting real, right? That's what it says on the fucking on the logo for this fucking show. Right. Front row, real talk. Real talk. Would you trade the love of your kids, the love of the people like well, I guess you would trade the fucking me and Jacob in a heartbeat, but the love we have, the love that myself, Trips, and Jacob have for you, for all the money in the world?
I wouldn't trade loyalty for money.
Okay.
I want people. I hope people can understand that trading loyalty for money, that means you're giving up. You think about it. Your self-respect and loyalty. There's certain things that you're born with, And once you lose those with people, respect, loyalty, trust, the simple things that
I'm gonna break the fourth.
well, I'm saying the simple things that most of us take for granted nowadays in today's world, the things that you as a human being can control.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall, and this is the moment I can tell you honestly when I realized that Gerard is one of my closest friends, and I'll tell you this: Jacob's like my little brother. Everybody knows that the story of me and Jacob, and we fought before, we argued before. Like I love Jacob, but this is the moment that I knew. A lot of people don't know this. This show was actually going to start out with just me and Gerard, and I just knew that Jacob was a perfect fit. We had a conversation like 4 o'clock in the morning for like 2 hours. It was a good fucking conversation, and Jacob is fucking. No one will ever, and I don't know if I've ever said it publicly. There never will be anybody to replace Jacob. I don't care for his good days, his bad days. Jacob will never be replaced. So anybody who has eyes on that, you can go eat a dick. Anyway, that being said. I've had people that I've known I had known for a significant amount of time come to me and basically want me to set up Gerard. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they wanted me to set him up basically for a firing squad. And I said no. And I said, that doesn't sound right. I'm not going to put him in that. He actually, and when I brought it to Gerard, he said, well, I'll do it, but I want you to be with me. And I told them that, and they had a problem with it. And again, this is not trying to hash up old shit, but whenever that happened and how he stayed loyal to me and I stayed loyal to him, you can't find that anymore. You can't. And it sucks, but I wouldn't trade that for the world. So even if I could have maybe, I'm not saying I was, but even I could have got a kickback on that. Oh yeah, we're going to do this. And I basically was playing for the other team. I would have never done that because, holy shit, it's Auntie Adrian. Welcome back. Been a minute, motherfucker. I would never do that because Gerard is my fucking friend. And in everything from us meeting each other to the start, a couple of years ago of the interview him and I had, Gerard has never not been Gerard. And Jacob can tell you behind the scenes, and they've had proper conversations themselves, and there have been moments that we've had good and bad. We've all three of us stuck to each other like fucking white on rice, shit on stink. That's just how we do it. I love these
shit
guys.
Shit on Janelle Grant's head.
And so, that you can't buy that. There's no price you could put on that. So I look at something, and I look at Gerard, and I look at Jacob, and I look at them being good people and good men and good human beings, and I look at someone like Vince, and his currency is people. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he uses people as if they're playthings. And look, there's an argument to be made that his childhood led to that, and that him growing up in the way he did and the horrible things he went through. Because no one's going to tell me that Vince didn't go through.
Is the business as a whole? Let's just say the business, to me, the professional wrestling business as a whole is extremely cutthroat. Let's just say it like it is. It's
100%. Yeah.
It's a cutthroat business. And, it's survival of the fattest wallet, okay? You're in a make-believe world, but you're playing with real money.
But you're playing with real people.
Put it this way. We all know, even in real people, money talks.
But I get that. Okay, so here's the thing I get. Even towards the end of Vince's reign over in WWE, the commodity of people, what really ruined it is he didn't give a fuck, in my opinion, of what people wanted. I mean, maybe it was okay for Jacob because he was a John Cena guy. He loves some John Cena, but all that time of John Cena.
I hate Cena. Cena sucks.
Wait a minute. He cared what people wanted.
Did he, though? I mean, look.
He cared what the wrong people wanted.
And that's great.
I mean, let's just call it like it is. I mean, Vince didn't, there's a reason why the wellness policy existed, and there's a reason why the WWE went PG. Vince didn't do that out of the kindness of his heart, and he wanted to appeal to the kidlings. There's a reason why.
But what I'm getting at, Jacob, is that a company comes along 7 years ago. A company comes along, and they have all the thunder in the world, and it would not have caught fire.
Force Wrestling.
it would not have caught fire had it not been for a desire for people to. I think we forget that AEW came around at the right time because it's something different. If for once we had a company that was listening to its fans, and yes, as many companies do, did it lose its way? Absolutely, it did. It lost its way, and it tried to imitate WWE.
Well, and a lot of that just because of how shitty WWE was in 2019 going into 2020. And again, Seth Rollins is to blame for a lot of that. And again, I'll leave it at that, but I'm just going to say it's Rollins' fault for the most part. Now, it's AEW, again, like as long as Tony Khan has money, AEW is going to exist. And that's a good thing for the wrestling business. And it's still a good thing. And I'm glad that, we're talking about Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. I'm telling you, the minute, Xavier or Austin Creed shows up in AEW and confronts Kenny Omega, that's going to fucking blow the roof off the fucking place.
Because of the rivalry has been,
it's been brewing. Like, again, there's a time
the only comparison I can give that to be would be FTR, the Young Bucks, because they were fucking two dogs on opposite sides of the fence looking at each other, and it's been you're gonna finally see what Austin Creed is capable of when he goes and gets in the ring with fucking Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like Kofi, Kofi's Kofi. He's always going to be a made guy, but again, we haven't had a chance.
I don't have to do Bootios anymore.
Hey, they make sure back. You ain't booty. That's I'm pissed. I didn't get a chance to.
So we have 30 minutes, and I don't want to lose because I don't want to lose track of something. We have something else on the thumbnail I do want to talk about. Cody Rhodes, right? Everybody, he's QB1, right? Well, some would say that there is a mere version of him from across the pond that wrestled the same style. Hell, even his gear looked similar to Cody's. But he showed up before Cody was ever there, and that is Nick Aldis. We are looking at a potential that Nick Aldis is going to get back in the ring. This is a speculation, but the potential that Nick Aldis is getting back in the ring with Gunther. Now, I'm going to ask you, Jacob, because this is up your fucking wheelhouse, because you knew who Magnus was. You knew who fucking Nick Aldis was. What is your thought of the idea of fucking Nick Aldis getting in the ring once again?
It's about time, to be honest. I've always been a fan of Nick Aldis. I mean, especially when back in the day, the British invasion was so underrated back in TNA, especially like when
I love fucking Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Doug Williams.
Yeah, Doug Williams. Yeah, again, fucking Doug Williams is great. I wish he was still around in the business. I'm not really sure what he's doing nowadays, but he'd be a great producer. Like he'd be a great fucking. He was fucking great. And Rob Terry too, even though he was green as shit, sometimes he was a good fucking big dude, a good, good Haas on the side. Anyways, Nick Aldis was a great, he was the longest reigning NWA champion. I think he still is, right?
But he handled it with class. He was a throwback. Yeah. Now, Gerard, I don't know if you know anything about Nick Aldis. I don't know if you ever watched him wrestle. What is your thoughts? If I have to say anything, I'm glad they're putting him against Gunther because Nick Aldis is like 6'2", and like he would dwarf anybody else.
That's going to be a great match if it happens.
If it's return to put him against Gunther and stuff like that. Now, how much has he been training? Is going to show up.
He looks like he's in great shape. I'll say that.
I don't think he ever stopped. To be honest,
you can look like you're in great shape. Doesn't mean you're in ring shape. Okay.
Fair. I don't think he ever. His wife is Mickey James. Mickey James is still. I don't think he's ever stopped training because he has a school too, right? So I don't think he's ever stopped like training in the ring. I think he's been waiting for this moment, and I hope it happens. There's rumors that it's probably going to be Royce Keys as like a proxy, which good for Royce Keys. But again, if they're ever gonna put Nick Aldis in a WWE ring, this would be the way to do it. And I hope
to be fair, John, no, he was Terra Rising.
Terra Rising. There you go. First and last.
So, what I was going to say is about Nick Aldis. In-ring shape and in shape is two different things.
Yeah.
Against Gunther, okay, that's a good guy. My only problem with that is this. I hope it doesn't make Gunther look bad.
It won't.
If you get what I put, my point on that is.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if it makes
I get what you're saying, but there's nothing that's going to make Gunther look worse than when he first won the title and how they kind of made him.
To Gerard's point, though, Gerard has kind of a point because, again, Gunther, he has retired John Cena. He's retired AJ Styles. And he went from that to wrestling Nick Aldis. Now, again,
he wrestled Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
Not
he wrestled Jelly Roll.
He wrestled Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. And
Pat McAfee put up a fight.
Well, in a perfect world, it would be Gunther and Roman Reigns right now. Like in a real perfect world, if Gunther was built up the way that he's supposed to be, because again, he retired John Cena, AJ Styles, and Goldberg. Don't forget, but Goldberg might come back, because they did him dirty. Remember?
You know what I did not like? This is one of the things I could not stand. Can somebody tell me and make it make sense to me how the hell Seth Rollins jumped everybody else again?
So that goes back to, in my opinion, this shit booking they've done with Obafemi.
Well,
why the fuck is Obafemi so concerned about Brock that he has to have this Hell in the Cell match when he look?
You could have 2 nights. Hey, he could wrestle twice. It's not.
Yeah, well then Bubba. Well, Bubba Ray's gonna love that if that happens because he said that he was like, Oba should wrestle Brock and then the next night Roman. And
well, if they did that, then they have the. You know what? Hold on. And I'm not going to say that. Look, hold on. If they do that, that gives them an out for Oba, and here's why. You just go through fucking Brock, and then you're going to go wrestle fucking Roman. You just wrestled Brock. So that gives Roman the ability to beat him, and that leaves the question marks. So I don't think if Oba were to beat Brock and then lose to Roman, I don't think it does anything to his stock.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. That's not the case.
What if Oba goes against Sami?
I hope so.
See that. Nobody wants to see that shit.
No, I think because it's in Minneapolis, it's Chad Gable's hometown. We're gonna get Chad Gable and Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship.
Which but if you think about that, right? If you were going to get Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable, they have a history. Remember? Because remember, it was Chad Gable that turned heel originally on Sami when he beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
The story's there, but it's just I think again because Sami and Cody are fighting tomorrow night for the title. It's confirmed. Seth Rollins is opening the show tomorrow night, and they're in Chicago. So either one of two things has happened. We're either getting CM Punk and Seth Rollins for the fucking umpteenth time, and I will go the way of Kurt Cobain if that happens. Or we have CM Punk coming out and interrupting this championship match, or Cody wins back the title, then we get Punk and Cody at SummerSlam, which I think might happen, to be honest. But Punk and Cody doesn't need the title. But it's just either because I would love if a heel CM Punk cost Cody Rhodes the title. That'd be great.
One thing I want to say, John, just let you know, the one-night tournament is over. They actually do it over 4 weeks now. Because he's right.
I miss the one-night tournament though. I wish
the one-night tournament, and put it this way, they'd actually sometimes do it at a house show, so that way you could get all the matches in. It was basically like that WrestleMania 4 thing to where they did the brackets. But
see, I used to love the fucking one-night tournament. That's where Steve Austin beat Jake the Snake.
I wish they did that again, to be honest.
What you got?
So in talking about Nick Aldis, this all kind of ties together with talking about the media and journalism and kayfabe. And I just wanted to say that I think this article is ridiculous. From Wrestling Inc., the headline is WWE places Nick Aldis on, quote, administrative leave after kayfabe altercation with Gunther. Why do we have to say, it wasn't a real fight, but he's really on suspension? Why are we reporting this is a fake fight?
Because it's violence in the workplace. You put your hands on somebody. Blah 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 blah.
He said mean things to him.
Listen, I'm reporting you for violence in the workplace.
I don't fucking pay you.
Well,
so why not say they put him on kayfabe administrative leave following a kayfabe fight?
Yeah, right. That's fucking hilarious.
Which is their way of saying is, hey, we have to work this storyline somehow.
So how about be a fucking reporter and say, hey, this is what happened in the show. This is not.
Yeah.
Well,
the reason why I think
did that come from the same guy we talked about earlier?
No.
No.
This came from a girl.
The reason why I think this might lead to an in-ring thing for Aldis is because Gunther specifically was like, you're jealous that I'm a wrestler and you're a failed wrestler. So I don't know why they would have brought that up otherwise. So I'm hoping that this leads to a match. It'd be cool.
But we're talking about Sami Zayn. That's another thing that came out, that people are getting frustrated because of Sami Zayn thing. Basically, they were told that Sami was winning the title the day of, and they're worried about, if we don't know what's going on, how about that's a good fucking thing? Because maybe you can't leak the shit out, so you don't get this horse shit of, well, did you know that so-and-so is going to win the belt? No, I enjoy being surprised a little bit, all right? I enjoy coming down the stairs for Christmas and,
bro, he looks like he could mow my lawn, bro, and we're putting the heavyweight championship on Sami Zayn, bro. Bro, let me tell you something. When I put the belt on David Arquette, bro, Arquette was a superstar, bro. Ready to rumble.
Hey, bro, don't talk about Gerard's best friend.
I love David Arquette.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about fucking Russo and fucking Gerard like this now.
No, we're not.
Like Nostradamus and fucking Mensa. They're fucking like this.
Yeah, pay Scott Casey Gale, Russo, you fuck. I'll say that till the end of time. Anyways,
could you imagine Jacob having an interview with Vince Russo?
We would have to. We would have to tell Jacob. Well, no. Because hold on.
I wouldn't. I would just. I wouldn't.
Jacob.
I would sit on the sidelines.
Jacob talks a lot of shit, but when he's actually in the room with somebody, he's like.
Well, listen. Okay, hold on. Russo is different, though.
Hold on. No. I can prove it. I can prove it. Ready?
No, don't prove it.
You ready? I can prove it. With Gerard, if Gerard was wearing the zebra stripes, and it would be him and Jacob talking all this shit about fucking Aubrey Edwards. Oh, that bitch, fuck her, she's the worst. And then what happens? Aubrey Edwards shows up to a live event, and hold on.
That was great.
Are you ready? Are y'all ready for this? So then he goes to a live event, and who does he see? And what does he do? Jacob is like, oh my, you know what? It was cool. Let's go to the videotape, right?
It was a cool moment.
What happens? Look how happy that fucker is, and I'm not talking about Aubrey.
Hey, look where I just came from, though. Look behind it.
Oh, he was at the bar.
He was at the bar.
Yeah. I didn't even drink. No.
And since that episode, since that happened, he has been nothing but a gentleman and said nothing but wonderful things about Aubrey Edwards.
It is called the.
She was a very nice lady.
No. All you gotta do, no. Remember the night with Chimmel where we were like, and then Chimmel popped up on the screen. Jacob like,
yeah. You didn't fucking tell me. You didn't tell me Chimmel was coming on. That's fucked up.
My favorite part of that whole thing was that fucking Jacob's over here at all. Meanwhile, fucking Chimmel's as bad as you with technology. I can't figure this shit out. Fucking Jacob's like,
yeah, you didn't tell me Chimmel was coming on. It's not my fault.
And you loved it, didn't you?
Oh, it was awesome.
Okay, Jacob. I still crack up at the first phone call you two had. Who gave you this number? Stop fucking.
Oh yeah, fucking. I called Chimmel. That was like, hey, what's going on? Who gave you this number? Don't ever fucking call here again.
Yeah, Chimmel rules.
Chimmel does rule. But again, talking about Sami Zayn and this, like, I prefer fucking have a little bit of surprise in my fucking wrestling. Thank you. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Like you said.
Well, the good news is, did you see Triple H? They leaked the behind the scenes of Sami taking the picture with Triple H, and Triple H just, he doesn't look very enthusiastic. I'll say that with Sami. I don't know. He just looks. He's smiling, but his eyes say something else when he's looking at Sami.
You know what killed me is they gave the boys the weekend off. They gave them the weekend off because they say they're overworked.
This fucking guy doesn't realize that, how many injuries, real injuries, how much pain, how much things, and they're trying to do better by them.
I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee.
I work one day a freaking week and I need time off.
Be smart.
How did that work out for them? Holy shit, look who decided to show up.
It's a holiday weekend.
Hey, yeah, he finally done his holidays.
Whatever happened to tribute to the troops? Like when
Right, holiday weekend.
So what I'm getting at, Gerard, is how did that work out for the wrestlers back in the day when they're I found this out today. You know what? This is a perfect transition. All that work and all that stuff. Look at someone like Kurt Angle, right? Someone like Kurt Angle, broken neck from the Olympics, whatever. When he went to the Olympics, all that. By the time he was over, and I'm not going to say the horrible name that they used to call him and whatever, because it really bothered him. So, and I have a lot of love for Kurt Angle. He was
what happened? What did he do?
He was a broken mess, right? He was hurt every fucking day. He was literally, and the quote that I was heard today was, after every match, Jim Cornette said that he was in the back with an ice pack on his shoulder, an ice pack on his neck. Is that what you want, Gerard? Is that what you want the wrestlers to be like that again?
I'm pretty sure you can work more than one fucking day a week.
Okay, so they brought the house shows back. Calm the fuck down, old man. Shit.
Barely any, though. And again, the fucking ticket prices are still outrageous. So again, there should be more house shows.
Not for AEW.
No.
Yeah, AEW, dude. Fucking when I went to the AEW show, it was fucking $35.
And it was a good show, wasn't it?
It was a fucking great show.
Well,
every time I've gone to a live AEW show, it's been fun. So
not this Wednesday night. But you know where they are in a week from this Wednesday?
Where?
They're in the Boston, Massachusetts.
Are you going to go?
No, I got to work. Why? Because my lottery ticket fell in the toilet.
So, okay. We only got a little time left, but I do want to talk about this. Do y'all remember a scandal that happened in TNA many, many, many years ago where they said Dixie Carter basically sent Jeff Jarrett home due to the fact that he was having an affair with one Karen Angle, right? You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Wait, didn't he marry that woman?
Karen Angle has finally come out for all these years. She was on Vice. She finally set the record straight on her end and said, and I think it was Awesome Kong was there, and she goes, y'all just need to fucking ask Karen. Y'all need to just ask for
I love Kong. I've always loved Kong. I'll never apologize for that. I'll fucking
So
beautiful woman.
She said, y'all just need to ask fucking Karen. Y'all just fucking, she'll tell you. She'll fucking tell you. So then it does this whole dramatic thing where it shows Karen Jarrett. And I'm not the biggest fan of Vice. In fact, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of things, I come to find out.
I'm not a big fan of this whole season in general, to be honest with you, because we can talk about that. This fucking
we can. But Karen sits down, and they said, no one's really asked me about this, and I didn't think it was anybody's fucking business. But you want to know the truth? She said, everybody in that company, from Jeff to Dixie to everybody, knew that me and Kurt weren't together. When they came into the company, she was staying at a separate house, and she was pregnant with their kid. They weren't even living in the same fucking house when they got there. They asked Karen to come on to kind of basically be Kurt's fucking caretaker, get him from place to place, make sure he was okay. And she did it. And she said and she wasn't talking shit about Kurt. She was being honest. He was in a dark fucking place. She didn't say one bad thing about Kurt. So when she was done, and she basically said she was done, it was Jeff Jarrett that called her and said, quoting scripture and saying, I lost my wife. And there's nothing. And the gist of it basically was he helped her get back together with Kurt. And I think the roundabout way was saying, I don't have my wife anymore. I would give nothing but to have her back. And again, Jeff was, and I'm not, again, I never said anything nice about Jeff ever here. So Jeff helped them get back together. But when it was done, it was done. And then it goes to Jeff, and Jeff says, no, I think she said after she got off the phone with Jeff, she said, they don't make men like Jeff Jarrett anymore. That's the thought she had when she got off the phone with him. But her and Kurt tried to reconcile and work things out. It goes back to Jeff, and Jeff says, well, she called me out of the blue one day after they had actually split up for good. And he said, when Kurt was already dating other people, he said, you know what? Let's try to give it a go. That's when they started their relationship. Now, I believe that 100%, because what it comes down to is I think Dixie Carter, she did the same thing with Billy Corgan. She fucks and lies people. She's a fucking, she's persona non grata, right? So when Dixie Carter decided that she wanted Jeff gone, and this plays perfectly in line with what happened with fucking Jim Cornette. Because remember, Jim Cornette got fucked over basically in TNA by fucking Vince Russo and Dixie Carter, because Dixie Carter wanted to go a certain way. Jill Southern Belle wanted her little wrestling company. She got rid of Jeff because he was in the way, because they didn't respect her because they respected Jeff. Right?
Well, here's the thing. I can believe that if there wasn't a pilot that Kurt Angle filmed during his time in TNA, right? You know, in the beginning. He filmed a pilot for a reality show, and him and Karen were definitely living together, and they were definitely always together. So
again, it goes back to the idea that, again, Jeff got them back together. I just said that. Like, Jeff helped them get back together when she was going to leave Kurt. They were separated, and due to a phone call from Jeff Jarrett, quoting scripture and talking about how much he loved his own wife who had passed on. Remember, his wife passed from cancer. He said he worked them into getting back together.
He worked into shoot, brother.
Well, no, and I believe that, because look, I'm not sitting here saying that Jeff is the best guy in the world.
To be fair, I don't know the timeline of the pilot that was filmed. I just do know that was filmed. I do know they were together during that. But
fucking John, look at John.
When he was quoting the scripture too.
But what I'm getting at is
he was whispering sweet nothings.
But Kurt was dating already dating other people, and people have confirmed that. Remember, he was dating Raka Khan.
Yeah.
Raka Khan.
Yeah, Raka Khan. Didn't Raka Khan try to sue fucking The Rock and like?
No, Raka Khan tried to fucking sue Kurt Angle. Instead, he got violent with her.
Well, I know, but she tried to sue.
Look, say what you want, but Jeff Jarrett loves the sisters.
Is Raka Khan Saka Khan's sister?
No, Raka Khan was one of. I think at one point she was one of fucking Scott Steiner's freaks.
Oh
yeah. And again, I'm glad Osprey.
Oh, good Lord. John's going to break out the Bible tonight.
John's over there looking for new. He's trying to bring the rats back, for fuck's sake.
He's going to go look for the oinkettes.
Was that the beginning of the show? Did you see that?
What?
The oinkettes?
Yeah, the oinket. He didn't dance with the oinket that almost knocked him over.
What I'm saying is, not everything is what we think. Ultimately, this is all speculation on our part, right? We watch because we're fans.
I will say this, Dan, just real quick. Kurt Angle seems like he's in a pretty good place today.
Absolutely. And again, when she was doing the interview, she never said anything bad about Kurt. When she put up and talked about what was going on with him as far as his addiction to pills, he's talked about it. But she said he was in a dark place. She never said anything bad. But I've always felt bad for her because something didn't seem right about that. And it never did. And you're like, the fucking theme song to this show is based off the fucking Midnight Express. I'm a fucking Jim Cornette fan, all right? I can give two fucks about Vince Russo. Don't dislike him. Don't care enough about him. There's complete fucking apathy towards him. I don't care. Vince Russo wanted to take over the fucking book. And I think Jim Cornette has a point when he says the only thing, in my opinion, because I agree with him, that Vince Russo was good at was coming into a company and telling you that he was great, making you believe it. The shit that he did in TNA was not great. Let's just call it like it is. He came up with
the reverse battle royal. You know,
he came up with a team called the Johnsons and made them look like dicks.
Yeah, it's Vince.
Do you see Gerard again? Gerard, I don't know if you remember that early in TNA. They wore flesh-colored bodysuits and fucking lucha masks. They looked like two giant dicks coming to the ring, and the team was called the Johnsons.
That guy would never work at this company again.
Hey, he's working for JCW now. You know, he's having a good time,
and I'm happy for him. Man.
Because the guy he was talking about, he's true. Would never work for that company again.
You're right, Leland. You're right. And John, I think that so it's always been said that Vince could come up with ideas, but he had McMahon to sit back and fucking. You're good. He had McMahon to come over there.
Hey, wait, John. In defense, the fans in the Attitude Era made his job so freaking easy. What has
No.
Vince? Wait a minute.
No.
Give me
The
give me-
bald-headed
wait a
redneck made it that
no.
job easy.
minute. The fans made his job
There's
easy.
no attitude era without me, bro.
The fans made the
telling
job
you now.
easy in the attitude era. Okay, give me a show that Vince Russo has written in hard times, and I ain't talking about Dusty Rhodes' hard times.
Let me tell you something, bro. I looked Vince McMahon directly in the face when Bret Hart didn't want to drop the title, bro. I said, just screw him, bro. Just screw him up his asshole, bro.
I cannot
Right
believe
down the middle.
He said that. He said some shit like that on the fucking Stone Cold podcast, and basically he said he was responsible for the Montreal screw job.
Yep,
The
just
other thing
screw him, bro.
You gotta notice too is who was the guy that jumped ship with Vince Russo? How come we never hear about this guy?
We
anymore?
do. Ferrera's a piece of shit too.
What I'm saying is,
He's the one who did the Oklahoma gimmick, and then fucking hold on. Did you not know about that? Cornette,
I know this.
Cornette spit in his eye and said, "I'll fuck you up."
Jim Ross knows more about wrestling and his.
He fucking spit. He goes, I told him I wouldn't hit him, but I decided I wouldn't spit him, and he spit in his face.
I'm just saying is the fact of Ed Ferreira and Vince Russo both jumped ship. And what did both of them accomplish? A company that went out of business.
That company was like,
now
I didn't kill WCW, bro.
But here's the thing. Here's the one thing I agree with Vince Russo, and I'm like, again, fuck you, Gerard. You made me fucking defend people all night long, and I can't stand you for it. The idea of giving
Vince Russo.
The idea of giving people an opportunity, because we wouldn't have had Booker T as a world champion if it wasn't for Vince Russo. He gave Booker T a chance. The night that Hogan walked out, Booker T won the world title.
Because they had no other choice.
No, that was the plan. They wanted okay. So the whole thing was fixed, right? That whole thing where he talked shit about fucking Hogan was set up. That was the plan. The only issue that Hogan had is that he went back out and said that whole thing about, and you'll never see that piece of shit again.
Yes,
that's that part of it. Hogan had a problem with. Everything else he was okay with because he thought, okay, well, Hogan's going to come back and this and that. But when he did that extra little bit, that's what pissed him off.
Look at Lee's comment.
That's so true, though. I mean, their last pay-per-view, it was called Greed.
I get that, Leland, but I'm trying to find something positive because, like the thing was, for all intents and purposes, I go back and I love Sting. All right, Steve Borden was great. But there was also somebody I really liked there too, and his name was fucking Vampiro. All right,
Van Hammer.
Fucking, I love Vampiro, and Vampiro got fucked, and it was because a bunch of guys didn't want to give up their fucking spots.
Yeah, Vampiro rules.
And like I said, and that's why I say
Ian Hodgkinson, God rest his soul, and I know he's not dead, but he's got Alzheimer's, right? Vampiro has Alzheimer's.
So. He also has two. He also has two demon spirits. He has two.
He made a joke. He goes, Alzheimer's is great, man. He goes, I can buy the same Call of Duty game. I'll beat it, and then I'll forget what I did, so I can play it over again. Like he's such a fucking dude.
Vampiro rules.
The one thing I would say is, like I said, and that's the reason why I say the talent of today. I don't really believe they appreciate what they got.
I don't either, but in the same breath, Vampiro, you're going to tell me that that the concussions he suffered and all that didn't have something to do with his Alzheimer's.
Wait, Vampiro's retiring on Hannibal's show, like on a Hannibal produced show. Is that real?
I don't know.
That's
but again,
Hannibal sucks, man. Fuck Hannibal. I've hunted enough,
and I've heard that too, Leland. Again, we can only speculate on this show because we don't call ourselves journalists. Now there's a guy.
No, but what we do have? We do have journalistic integrity, though. Yeah, that's what we do have. Wait a minute, hold on, that's an oxymoron because journalism doesn't have integrity.
I would just say that we're fucking honest to a fault at times, and Gerard's a fucking nut. But other than that, well, I got nothing else.
I will say this: Dark Side of the Ring's new episodes are fucking terrible. We don't need an episode on Zach Gowen.
So you know what? We forgot to talk about And it's going to be something Jacob's going to be so pissed off we didn't talk about it. Becky Lynch talking about how the girls had to go out there and say "shake it up" or whatever the fuck they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, no, they were out there throwing T-shirts.
Take it off.
Yeah, no, we were dancing. We were dancing to "Let's Get Loud." It was terrible, and it's 20.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.